Welcome back to the Better Learning Podcast. This episode is part of a special series we recorded live at PASBO conference, also known as the Pennsylvania Association of School Business Officials in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania this year. While we were there, we had the chance to sit down with school leaders, business officials, and partners from across the region to talk about what it really looks like to plan, fund, and support today's learning environments. So in this series, you'll hear a real conversation about the trade-offs, the challenges, and the opportunities that come with trying to build better learning environments. Without further ado, let's dive in.
Welcome again to the Better Learning Podcast. I'm here with Ellen. Ellen, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Thanks, Mark. My name is Ellen Darlington. I live in the Philadelphia area, but I work for a company called C&A Scientific. We have a whole education kind of branch and component to what we do, which is why we are here. Excited to meet a lot of new folks and see kind of what's what out there in the environment here. The company itself is based in Sterling, Virginia. It's right by the Dulles Airport.
What type of products does your company make?
Yeah, so we predominantly provide kits for hands-on learning to kindergarten through 12th grade. Yeah, so we provide hands-on learning, STEM, manipulatives, as we had kind of talked about a little bit before, for kids to continue to learn the way that it is statistically proven, it is most measurably proven that, retention is stronger. They're actually truly learning when they do something hands-on. I mean, you and I can probably remember when we were kids, that exploding volcano. Like, you don't want to take that away from a hands-on experience. You don't want to turn that into a computer-based product. It just doesn't ring as true or feel as the same. We have to understand that we're introducing technology, and that is the way of the world. So how do we, in fact, coexist? And so C&A really comes in and says, hands-on is so important. You know it, we know it, the stats prove it, but budgets are tougher. And you don't want to sacrifice quality for these kids, and you don't want to move exclusively to online learning. That's just no good. So how can we come in here and support you with what we do? And so we really provide products that are at a much more affordable rate without sacrificing quality, so the kids can feel, touch, play, experience science for themselves.
I feel like this has been an interesting, I taught history and literature, right? And so even from a literature standpoint and a literacy standpoint, right, there was a major overcorrection as technology sort of became ubiquitous. Everything was being read on screens. But now we know definitively the neuroscience is clear on this. Retention is more superficial. Mm-hmm. Knowledge is more transient when it's read digitally. Mm-hmm. So I think even when it comes to a text-based culture, not just a material-based culture, I think that the pendulum is swinging back. I hope that we're in a period of moderation there.
I cross my fingers because I too hope.
Yeah. And so I think, yes, you're right. We live in a digital world, screen-based world. But I think there's a good fight being fought to sort of keep that physical engagement with learning alive.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think this is what happens when something new is introduced, right? It's like AI or technology in general is fairly nascent for the longevity of what learning looks like and how long schools have been around. You have to figure out how to dance that dance. It's just, it's a new experience. And so I think people were excited and enthralled by the idea of no more textbooks and just laptops and, online learning and online this. It was obviously very beneficial when it came to COVID. But I think just like everything else that is shiny and new, you learn how to have it fit in your world without overtaking your world. And you get excited about this new product, but it really isn't what is actually best, right?
And we struggle with it ourselves in our personal lives as we struggle with figuring out how to integrate educationally, for sure.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's extremely relatable to your own personal life. And you just sort of translate that to children. Yeah, absolutely.
When you're working with a school district, who are you typically engaged with? Are you working with curriculum and instruction folks? Are you working with superintendents? Are you working with STEM educators? Who typically engages you?
Yeah, all of the above, and add procurement into that. So we love to get in with STEM educators, that end user who is on the ground floor. We don't speak to those folks as much. We're trying to, and we'd love to. Come talk to me. But yeah, it's really the folks who have a little bit more of a buying power, a little bit more of decision making, and then curriculum folks. Yeah, because our kits are not a one size fits all. They are fully custom to your curriculum. Every curriculum is a little bit different. The general TLDR is about the same. Second graders here and second graders there are learning about the same thing. But how they implement it per the curriculum is a little bit different. So we customize our kits for that.
And you're pointing at sort of the nature of this conference, right? Which is that school business officials are actually, I think, pivotal in shaping districts' educational visions. And they're sometimes, in some cases, the unsung heroes in that process. So it's true to connect with those folks can be a great way to sort of make an impact. So, it sounds like you're doing great work. Do me a favor, flip one of these fun cards here. So Ellen, the question you drew is, if students were actually in charge of designing schools, what would be the very first thing that would appear in every building?
Okay, so besides the obvious of like a candy tower, I think schools would be extremely colorful. And I think there would be very imaginative playgrounds, which I think is awesome. I think technology has completely stolen childhood and imagination land. But little kids still have it. They still have it there. They'd probably have some like VR playroom and no teachers. I think it would be just all play and candy, all fun and no learning.
I think you're right.
But I think I'm talking like, when I said students, I'm like thinking elementary. I'm thinking all elementary.
You went right to your people though.
Yeah.
Those are your people.
Exactly.
I love it. All right, we're going to end with, I think, the most important question here, which is better sports town, Pittsburgh or Philadelphia?
Well, Mark, is there a world in which you thought I was going to say Pittsburgh? Is there an actual world? It's Philadelphia, hands down.
That's incorrect. But Alan, it was really great to meet you. It was a pleasure meeting with you, learning about the work that you do. I hope you have a great conference. Thanks for coming on the Better Learning Podcast.
Thank you, Mark. Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
Lovely.
Yep.
The Better Learning Podcast is produced by Matt Rogers and edited by Callie Jones. The views and opinions shared on this podcast are those of the individual speaking and do not necessarily represent the perspectives of their affiliated companies, organizations, or associations.